Michigan football report. We are 48 hours or so away from Michigan hosting Wisconsin under the lights in Ann Arbor, and we've got a show that's really more of an interactive game. We play it together. You tell me what you think. I tell you what I think. Michigan football over under versus Wisconsin. I am the face of Michigan football media, James Yoder. This is the #1 most watched Michigan football program, the Michigan Football Report. Let's get into Michigan football versus Wisconsin over under. What we're gonna do here, ask a question. I'm gonna put a number out there. I want you to reply with the letter that says in the comments after we get into it with what you think below. Facebook Live, Chat Sports YouTube, let me know if you think it's over or under by indicating the letter. I'm going to tell you what I think at the end. So let's take a look at the first one. The over-under for this game, 47.5 points. Did it change to 46.5 points, Harris, before we went on air? It did. So we're going to be fine with that. 47.5 points, that's what it started as when we got ready for the show. It just changed to 46.5, so I think they might have saw my tweet. I am one of the great sports gamblers in the world right now. Over-under is now 46.5, started at 47.5. Do you think Michigan-Wisconsin will go over that number? Means the combined points of the two teams will go over 47.5 points, 46.5 points, 47. I am just surprised it's this high. I honestly thought it would be like 39 or 40 because if you think about the last two seasons, it was 24-10 last year. It's 34 points for you math magicians out there. And then 14-7 in 2016 when both teams, Wisconsin both years was at the top of college football. Michigan certainly in 2016, 14-7. Michigan needed a late touchdown, deep touchdown pass to even get that 14 points. So I think this is an easy bet for me. I think it's going to be something like, 17-7, 14-10, something like that. So I think it's going to be way under. I want to know from you guys, type O for over, type U for under. Will Michigan and Wisconsin combine go over 46.5 points? We got that change for you. 46.5 points, type O for over, type U for under. I say, ding, it is going to go way under. Actually, I'm not putting, I already put money on this one. So if you know I'm putting money on it, I think that makes it pretty much a guarantee that it will go under. Let's take a look. Well, we've got before we do that, sorry about that, we've got a BetDSI promo to tell you guys about. chatsports.com/bet, promo code GOBLUE. It is back, the 120% deposit bonus. You put in $50, you get a free 60 to play with. You put in 100, you get a free 120. If you can do math, 120%. If you put in 500, I'm going to whisper this, coming close. $600 free to bet with. BetDSI, chatsports.com/GoBlue. Go play now. Put some money on Michigan. You follow me on Twitter, you'd be loaded at this point. You'd be wearing $125 shirts like I'm wearing from Mizzen in Maine. If you follow my bets and get them playing with BetDSI, I'm on an absurd streak, college and NFL. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GoBlue to get the 120% deposit bonus. Let's take a look at the next over-under, Michigan football and Wisconsin. Shea Patterson, 225 yards passing against the Badgers. I want you to type 1 for over, 2 for under. What will Shea Patterson do against the Badgers on Saturday night? Now, Shea had a really nice game, really kind of broke through. We've been hovering around that 200-yard mark for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Really broke through and had more of like an aerial assault game that a lot of people expected from him coming out of Ole Miss and the aerial passing game with 2 potential first-round wide receivers this year, Ole Miss, on the roster that he was throwing to last year. Take a look at his stats here. 69%, nice. Completion percentage this year so far. There's a shade below 70 where he's been pretty much the entire year. Just under 200 yards passing per game, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So he's going to have to go 12, 13% over his season average if we think he's going to hit 225. The Badgers have been a stout defense for the last several years, really the last couple of decades, but under Paul Chryst, can Shea Patterson get there? Will Jim Harbaugh put the ball in his hands, throw the ball enough to get the 225 yards? Press 1 for over, 2 for under. I am going to say under. I actually think it's going to be way under. I think it'll be more like something like 130, 140 yards. I don't think that Michigan's going to have the play calling, the confidence maybe to get the ball in his hands out deep downfield. I think he'll have a lot of attempts, but I think it's going to be more of the dink and dunk that we saw against Notre Dame. So I am saying under. Go ahead and let me know what you guys think. Take a look at the next one. Shea Patterson related again. Will Shea Patterson play for Michigan in 2019? So if you watch the Michigan Football Report Rumors Roundup, earlier in the week yesterday. If you saw that show, you know that there's odds out there whether Shea Patterson will be in first-round draft pick, whether or not he is being projected to be first round, who's ahead of him. And I want to know from you guys, type Y for yes, type N for no if you think Shea Patterson will play for Michigan in 2019. Kind of flipping the script here when you're asking this question. These are the gambling odds. Will Shea Patterson enter the 2019 NFL draft? If you think yes, I mean he's gonna go. He won't be at Michigan next year. It is negative 192 odds. Now what that means is you got to put up $100. You're gonna win 52 bucks. If you think no, he's gonna stay in Michigan, you can put 100 up. You win your 100 obviously back, and you get 130 in profits. So the odds are saying it's almost twice as likely he goes pro than stays at Michigan. And you can bet this prop bet. You can also bet things like, will Jim Harbaugh be Michigan's coach next year? Will Michigan make the college football playoff? Will they win the national championship? All kinds of great prop bets, future bets, and this week's game at BetDSI, ChefSports.com/bet. Karan Higdon. Over under 100 yards rushing this Saturday versus Wisconsin under the lights in the Big House. Want to know from you guys. Hit it in the comments below. 3 for over, 4 for under. Will Karan Higdon get over 100 yards against a Badgers defense that has been more hype than production, at least this year is concerned. Karan Higdon's had a nice year. He's had a really nice year. 101 rushing attempts this year, 601 yards. He's definitely a top 10 player, but that's for another segment, another day, Harris. 5 touchdowns this year, 5.8, I think it was 5.8 to 6.8 yards per carry. He's only played in 5 games. Well, remember he missed a game, so he's averaging 120 yards on the ground, so 100 would be 20 yards below his season average. So 3 for over, 4 for under. I think Michigan is going to stick to the running game a lot in this game. Even though Nebraska gave up something like 400 yards passing, or Wisconsin did against Nebraska last week, Nebraska team that could barely get a yard against Michigan. I think Michigan's going to stick to a running attack. I am going to say over. Shea Patterson will be under 225, but Karan Higdon will be well over 100 yards. I think they're going to give him to him 30 to 35 times on Saturday night in the Big House. Wisconsin, the Wisconsin offense, will they be over or under 300 yards against the #1 defense in America, the Michigan football defense? Type A for over. They're going to go over 300 yards, James. They are going to make Michigan be not the #1 defense in America anymore. Really skew those stats that they racked up against Roast Beef Tech and Panero Bread U. A for over, B for under. Let's take a look at Wisconsin's stats the last couple weeks and the last couple years against Michigan. 518 yards last week against Nebraska. A couple weeks ago, 415 yards against Iowa. Last 2 years, they had Michigan at home in Camp Randall last year. 325 yards they put on the ground, but against a similarly talented Michigan team in the Big House, a game that ended up being kind of a night game because it was late in the day. The lights had to come on. 159 yards of offense for Wisconsin in 2016 against Michigan. Type A for over 300 yards. Type B for under 300 yards. Michigan's defense against this Wisconsin offense, what will they do? I am going to say over. All right, I'm going to be a little pessimistic here, but I think Jonathan Taylor is one of the best players in the country. Alex Hornibrook is an underrated player. They've got a great offensive line, and I think they will definitely put up 175 yards passing, 50 to 175 yards rushing. Very balanced offensive game plan from Wisconsin. But will they be able to put the ball in the end zone? Will they limit turnovers? I think will be the difference in the game. So I am saying over. Let's take a look at the college football playoffs. It's not usually the college football playoff odds, the college football national championship odds from BetDSI. This is who's going to win the entire national title right now. Alabama minus 300. So what does that mean? It means that Alabama right now is 3 times as likely to win the national title as they are to not win the national title. This is absurd odds. I've never seen anything like this in college football. Ohio State plus 475 is the second favorite. Clemson, Georgia, Notre Dame jumping back up in there, and now they're in the top 5 after some losses, plus an impressive victory on the road versus Virginia Tech, plus 900. Michigan is actually the 6th best team, according to the odds, to win the national title. Is plus 3,000 odds. Now, it's a big jump from 5 to 6. It certainly is, but the way you got to think of it is better. If Michigan wins these next 2 weeks, gets a bye week, plays Penn State, they are right in the hunt, in the thick of it as we go into the late part of November. We have to overcome an Ohio State road game to get into the playoffs, according, of course, if they would win the Big Ten championship. Plus 300. They are number 6 in the country as far as that goes. We see Washington, Texas jumping in there, Penn State, West Virginia. You put down 100 on Michigan, you put down 10, 30-1 odds basically. I think it's a pretty decent bet if you think Michigan can win these next 3 weeks, and then anything can happen. Shea Patterson, will he throw for over or under 25 passing attempts this Saturday versus Wisconsin? I want to know from you guys. Let me hear it in the comments. O for over. We're going back to the O and the U. Circling it back down. We don't have that many options to give you. U for under. Will he throw for more than 25 times? I've got to think that this will be a game much like the Notre Dame game, where it'll be close towards the end of the game, and that if Michigan wants a chance to win, if they want to either put the game away or come back from it, they're certainly going to have to put the ball in Shea Patterson's hands. I don't think it'll be one of these games where they're going to be up by 2 touchdowns and just ground and pound, run the clock down. They're going to give him chances to throw the ball. We see what he can do. He's improving. I am going to say over. I think Shea Patterson will throw for more than 25, which I believe will only be the second time this year threw for 30 against Notre Dame. But I think it's going to be a very dink and dunk, short passing game. Will not go over the 225 mark, as I said in a previous over-under a few moments ago. Michigan, over under 24 points. They haven't scored 24 points the last 2 years. Actually, as a matter of fact, they've scored 24 points total in the last 2 years against Wisconsin. What do you guys think? Will they score more than 24 points or less? Over under. Type 5 for over. Type 6 for under. Michigan football offense against a Michigan football offense, by the way, that scored 17 against Notre Dame on the road, 20 against Northwestern on the road, but is averaging well over 40 points at home so far this year. But those teams have kind of been cupcakes, or middle or lower Big Ten, like Nebraska, Maryland. Certainly haven't played anyone of substance at home so far. 5 for 6, 5 for over, 6 for under. I am going to say under. I think Michigan's going to get the win. I think it's going to be closer than we're going to like if you're a Michigan football fan. I'm saying under. I've got it as like a 17-10 game. I've got it as like a 10-3 game, something like that. Take a look at the odds from BetDSI. Michigan is now a 9. Yes, you heard me right. Michigan is a 9-point favorite at BetDSI. If you've got confidence in the Wolverines, you've got to have a lot of dang confidence to make this bet. But they are a 9-point favorite. This is pretty substantial. If you want to bet the money line, don't want to put the spread, Michigan's minus 370. You got to put up $370 to win 100. Wisconsin plus 290, over under 46.5. You can make those bets on BetDSI. We trust BetDSI to make our bets. That's where I've been making all my money, going 75, 80% the last few weeks. You can too. 120% deposit bonus if you get started today with promo code GOBLUE. And if you start with BetDSI, you don't even have to put any money down if you don't want to. If you want to get familiar with how sports gambling works, if you want to think that James Yoder is a real egotistical son of a bitch on the Michigan Football Report, thinks he knows what he's talking about, put your money where your mouth is if you're one of these people that likes to get in the comments, all right? Challenge me. Tell me you're smarter than me at picking football games. You should have your own show called the Go Blog Message Board Football Report, and you should be able to be up here and spew off these facts and opinions. You got to sign up at BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. If you've already got an account, skip step 1, send me a DM. I'll send you the direct link, give you the instructions how to get going in my game. It is absolutely free. 25 bones, straight cash, homie, to the winner. But we're not going to be sending $25 as far as I can tell, because that's going right back into my pocket, because I'm going to dominate everyone who joins this game. Use promo code GOBLUE so you qualify for the $25 or more prize that is going to be given away for this game. So I expect a ton of DMs. Let's hear it. You're smarter than me? Bring it. Bring the action. BetDSI, the James Yoder College Football Top 25 Pick'em Challenge. Attendance on Saturday. Over or under 115,109. What is significant about that number? That is the record for a home attendance for any college football game. There's been a few games, most notably the Tennessee and Virginia Tech game that was played at a raceway that had like 150,000. But a football stadium, 115,109 is the record. Michigan, Notre Dame, 2013. Type C for over, setting the record. Type D for under. Going to go under and not going to make it to that number, not going to break any records. Want to kind of walk through why this is even significant. We've got the attendance of the top 5 attendance games in Michigan football history coming up. My main man, Harris Rubenstein, throwing them up on screen right now. Not Notre Dame, 2013. I was at that game, amazing game. I actually think I was at all these games, actually. 2012, Michigan State I was not. So 4 of the 5 biggest games in college football history I have been at. Notre Dame 2013, Notre Dame 2011, the first night game. Ohio State 2011, a victory. If you follow along with these games, you will notice that these are all victories for the University of Michigan. 5-0 in these top 5 games. Michigan State in 2012, and then Nebraska, a game in 2011. Denard Robinson's kind of real breakout game towards the end of the year. He was kind of struggling for a few weeks prior with Brady Hoke. So those are the records, top 5 games in Michigan Stadium history. I believe in college football history as far as a football stadium. But will this beat the all-time record? Will this be the most attended college football game in a football stadium all time? I'm going to go ahead and say under. I think had Michigan been undefeated, had Wisconsin been undefeated, it might have been a number 3 versus number 6 matchup or something like that, maybe. I'm going to say under. I don't think it will get within 1,000. It might break that top 5 barrier, but not enough hype around this game. Announces a night game way too late to get people really burning, have all the media attend. A lot of media will be there, of course, but I don't think it's going to hit that 115, 109 number. All right, last over-under. James Yoder, yours truly. I got this cup over here. Is this beer? I don't know. Is this beer right here? I'm going to take a sip. I will be on campus in Ann Arbor all day. I have a crew of people with me. My main man, Keese, BP_Keese on Twitter is going to be with me. Rocky is going to be with me. We all know him, Rob Schaefer. So will I have over under 6.5 beers by kickoff time? Type 1 for over. I may be drunk right now because I'm slurring my words. Type 2 for under. Will I have 6.5 beers before kickoff? I've got the answer for you right now. Let me tell you something. I'm not drunk, you're drunk. That's the answer. Over under, it's I'm not drunk, you're drunk. And you can take that one to the bank. Join the Pick'em Challenge. Will I be drunk? If you see me on campus, toss me a beer. I am James Yoder, the face of Michigan football media. We will be back with the top 10 players for Michigan football so far this season, Saturday morning. Join us then, and I'll see you at the game.